is I. I am the light of the Leo. My name is Jennifer. You can call me that, whatever. It's your world. Anywho, this is my channel. So happy to have this show and talk about our pet peeves about people. That's why I named this particular episode as Why People or Why Nobody Likes You. And it's no shade. It's just pet peeves of our own, and of course, all of these opinions expressed are our own. And I say ours because I have my brother with me. Jonathan's here, per
Yes.
usual.
And I'd categorize This Is Why Nobody Likes You as more of a read rather than shade, because shade is a little more subtle, but a read is like just direct, like just gets to the point, and that gets to the point, girl.
And it's going straight to the facts. So let's just talk about it. All
Let's.
right. Right. We have a lot to talk. Well, okay. I don't want to say a lot to talk about, but the bulk of the issues that I've had with people that really got on my nerves mostly came from work, because those are the times where you really run into people that have a multiple, just there's so many different people. So many people that
Mhm.
have come from different walks of life. So many people that grew up differently than you, have different parents. Things are
Right,
weird sometimes, but whatever. And unfortunately, some people don't realize the things that they do that get on people's nerves.
right.
So I just wanted to make sure I talk about that. Can I tell you my biggest one? My
Tell me.
biggest one is being a liar.
Ooh, okay.
And I tell you why. Oh, I'm gonna spread business today. So my I have run into many liars at job spaces, but the worst one was, I'm not gonna say the job, but
Yeah, don't say the
this young
job.
man, he was telling everybody that he had cancer, that he was going to chemo. He was talking about how he has kids, but he was a little flamboyant. So we were under the impression that he was homosexual.
Hmm.
Um, and he came from a small area of South Carolina, and he talked about his family being a certain way towards him, and just basically building a whole sob story around him and his life, that I guess he would hope that he'd have some sympathy in that particular workplace.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. So first of all, when you tell lies like that, there are actually people around that have actually gone through those things, right?
Right.
So one person, she's actually gone through having chemotherapy and having cancer, and she was like, he should have a port right here. Where's his port?
Oh.
And then please tell me why there was a person from that same small town that he was from, and he mentioned that he had a whole heap of brothers and sisters,
Oh.
and she was like, no, he doesn't.
Yikes.
In fact, she was under the impression that he was the only child.
Oh, wow.
So it's like lie upon lie, and he just pretty much became a laughing stock. No one ever confronted him, simply because a person that lies that deep,
Hmm.
especially putting cancer on yourself, which is just
Right.
stupid. He's never going to be the one to tell the truth eventually. So all we did was pretty much talk about him and laugh behind his back about his lies. And like, what did he say today, girl? That
Okay.
was our life. But it bothered me because it's like, what good does it do to live a lie, or at least attempt to live one? Because I don't know, it's just sad.
I think that just tells you that he's someone who's not happy with his truth.
Absolutely, through
Yeah.
and through. And
Hey, Regina. And or Clovis.
Hey, Regina. Hey, y'all. So being a liar, especially with outlandish ones, especially with putting horrible things like cancer and disease on yourself, that's just a horrible thing. If you are not in a space in your life that you think you are enough, instead of trying to portray something else to other people, it's time that you try to find your self worth.
Hmm.
What's something that gets on your nerves about people, Jonathan?
My biggest pet peeve about people is those who do the most to get attention, who strive to be the center of attention when they don't naturally have that position. So I'm into astrology. I don't read horoscopes or anything like that, but I do believe in astrology. So for instance, Leos are typically the center of attention in any room that they walk into, whatever the case may be. People are drawn to them. That's just the case. People like Barack Obama, Angela Bassett, Jennifer. The Leos just it's like you're magnetized to them, and they don't even have to try. They don't even have to try to be the center of attention. Everybody just loves them. But there are those who do not have that effect naturally, and will try to force that. So they'll try. There are these two drag queens on the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race. They're called
Mhm.
Sugar and Spice. They're
The
very like
twin,
they're
the
like
twins, the brothers.
Yes, they're twins. And they're very TikTok famous. And on the first episode, they were getting on my last nerve. And the reason why is because they were trying to grab everyone's attention. They were over talking everyone. They were over talking everyone. They were over talking everyone. They wanted to have their moment. And it's like if you just sit back and allow the moment to come to you, it comes off so much more naturally, and people would go and see that. But when you're literally trying to get everyone's attention and trying to get the attention on yourself, it starts to look desperate. And I can't stand that. If you
Oh
did,
wait.
if you're not that type, then you're just not that type. Like I'm naturally laid back. Sometimes I'll get attention. Sometimes I won't. It's whatever. I don't care whether I'm the center of attention or not. So that will never be me. But for those who really want that attention, and that could come from not being well taken care of when you're young. Maybe your parents did not give you much attention. Maybe you were bullied by your siblings. Maybe your siblings were more popular amongst your parents than you were, or your family doesn't like you, or whatever the case may be. I understand why certain people might do that, might want to get that attention, but to me, from the outside looking in, it's not a good look. Not to me, at least. Again, it looks like desperation, and that's so sad to me. That people want that attention so bad, they have to have that attention on them.
Oh my gosh. So speaking as a Leo, the light of the Leo. Um, I'll have to say I certainly come into spaces where I have to make myself shut up. I make
Mm,
myself stay quiet and I wait for the space to speak. So I fully understand that. I do a very good job of staying quiet because I literally can say something to every single thing people have to say. I have a comment for all of it.
mm.
But I I have done a very good job of staying quiet until the moment the space is introduced. So I certainly understand that. But some people, they don't have nice people like us to let them know, hey, it's looking a little, you're trying hard.
You look a little thirsty.
Just a
Okay,
taste, you know what I'm saying?
you
God bless
you
you.
you seem parched, rather.
Though. Okay, so Aaron is here. Hello, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Welcome. Tyrone came on in here. He said, "Hey to Aaron and Regina and Clovis." Uh, the Juice Radio said, "Hey to Aaron." Aaron said, "Hello to everybody again," and then Regina said, "Hello to Tyrone," and Tyrone gave love and prayer. God bless. All right. We sure love to greet each other up in here. But I tell you,
It's the nice thing to do.
it's so sweet because when
It's
you
the
come into the
Christian thing
room,
to
it's good.
do.
Yeah, it's the Christian thing to do.
It's the God, more it's a godly thing to do. I'll say rather.
Okay. Um, Here is another thing that really gets on my nerves. One thing that I've learned from my cousin, like a saying, my cousin Tracy, she spoke about unspoken expectations.
Hmm.
So when people get upset that you were under the impression that for your birthday you were supposed to receive a birthday phone call from everybody, but
Oh,
um
yeah.
but you didn't receive that. So after your birthday, you call everybody fussing and cussing because you didn't receive your
Hmm.
birthday call.
Right.
And the first thing a person like me is able to say is, "Since when did we do birthday calls?
Right.
What happened? What made you
I,
think that that was something that we're going to automatically think of when you desire it?" See, this is why when you want something, you just got to put it out there in the atmosphere. Make a
right.
few posts on Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Just say what you want, because not everybody got ESPN. Even sorry, ESP. Even um prophets, they can't just try to pick out what you desire and what you want. It's like you have to put it out there. It has to be put into the atmosphere for
Right.
you to do it, for it to get done. And that bothers my whole entire soul. Don't get upset because you're not getting what you want.
Right.
Open your mouth. So I see you. Do you hear my voice elevating? Calm down, Jennifer.
It is. It is.
Open your mouth so you can receive. That's just absolutely ridiculous to me. And people really get upset. People really do that. Get mad for no birthday call. Yes, unfortunately, I've actually seen a situation like that. It's very unfortunate, and
Yeah.
like a lot of people just focus on the random.
Here's the thing. I have to admit this. My birthday is it's not a big thing for me, but and I don't want to say that I expect happy birthdays, but I look forward to those happy birthday messages.
Hmm.
And I look forward to them from certain people.
Yeah.
And so if I were not to hear from certain people, I probably would be a little upset, but at the same time, I have to understand that they're not doing this on purpose to hurt me. They just might have forgotten, or they just didn't remember. It hasn't crossed their mind. So what you do is make a birthday post. It's my birthday. That's what I did this past year. I took a picture, which I hadn't done it in probably the entire year, and said happy birthday to myself. So that people can see that it is my birthday, so that I can get those birthday messages.
You're
So
my
you
love.
set yourself up so that you can get the results that you're looking for. But when you
Tell
don't
you.
take any action and you're expecting a result, then that's just crazy to me.
It is crazy, but sometimes, but see, the difference is, but the difference between those people and you, Jonathan, you
Mhm.
actually had that conversation with yourself.
Right,
People
right.
don't have those conversations. They just get mad and don't even try to rationalize things and try to put themselves in other people's shoes.
You're right. They don't try to rationalize it. You must rationalize it. You have to rationalize things. You have to put things into perspective. Because it would be easy for me to automatically think, oh, if my good girlfriend Tamika, who I met through the Scorpion show, if she didn't tell me happy birthday, I should be like, oh, well, what's wrong with her? She would have wish me happy birthday, my fellow Libra sister. What she got something up against me now? No,
She's
it's
hating me now. She doesn't
right.
like me
It
anymore.
just may simply be that maybe she's had a long day, or she hasn't been on social media all day, so she did not see my happy birthday post, or whatever the case. You have to rationalize and put things into perspective before you go off the rails with your whatnot and your ridiculousness.
And that's actually the same thing with other things between friends and things of that nature. If there isn't a conversation, how can I hold you accountable?
Right. Right. Because if it's untold, your expectations are then therefore void. Because how could you have expectations for something that has not been set up for a result?
So these are great moments also to search ourselves and say, hey, maybe it didn't happen because I didn't ask for it.
Right. Exactly.
Yogi Curtis in here. Hey
What's
Dominique,
going on?
what's popping? So another one of mine, this came from like a manager that I've had.
Hmm.
This manager was apparently afraid to have the tough conversation with people.
Oh Oh, okay.
So he would skirt around the topic
Mm,
slash have other people come to them
yeah,
and say that.
yeah,
That really bothers me. Because if you are a grown adult, over the any grown adult, okay? If you're a grown adult, you should be able to have a tough conversation, especially in spaces of management. How on
right,
earth are you managing things and you can't tell somebody, hey, if you don't stop not coming to work, you're not going to have a job? Or
right.
it's not, I can't pay you for this because this is what was going on. And that's not cool and we can't have you do that anymore. Or this was disrespectful. Ciao.
And
That
I have
bothers
to And I have to say that that applies to me as well. I am one who hates tough conversations. I hate having tough conversations. Being a Libra, I like to avoid confrontation at
me.
all costs. And sometimes tough conversations, I can see it as a confrontation. So therefore, I'll try to avoid it. But at the same time, I understand that those tough conversations do still have to happen. But I understand why certain people feel that way because I feel the exact same way. I like to look on the bright side of things 100% of the time and not have to think about those things that bring me down. Well, could bring me down.
Hmm.
But I hate having those tough conversations. Like because if I were a manager going into a tough conversation with someone who is under me, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what are they going to think of me after this conversation? For some reason, I don't know why. I care about my people's perception of me a lot,
Yes, that's the point.
and so yeah, yeah,
For me, I am a supervisor, so I have to have those conversations.
right,
What I have to consider is just the simple fact that if it's not being said, it's not going to get better, then I'm going to be trampled on because of what you're not doing.
exactly,
Or what you're doing that's incorrect or what I can't have any longer. So I absolutely have to have those conversations. And even on top of that, I have those conversations with friends, family, and loved ones that need to be had as well, especially if I have an opinion that might be either controversial or just against what they're doing at the time.
right,
I take my time in saying it. I say it, don't get me wrong, I say it, but I say it in a way that can be received.
hmm,
And I categorize that as low tones. I always say, just give the low tones, give respect, but say what needs to be said.
right.
How's that worked out for me, Jonathan? I think I've had some of those conversations with you.
You have. I remember the last time that you had one of those conversations with me. It was back in 2020,
Mm,
and I was my vision is impaired, so I was getting into a new job, and I am not told that new job about my impairment, and so I was really nervous about going to my first. I think it was going to be my second day of work that next day. And so I had talked to Tyrone about it, and Tyrone brought Jennifer into the conversation. And Jennifer had that tough conversation with me. You got to let people know what accommodations they need to make for you so that you can do your job well. And it was one of those tough conversations. It's just I don't know what kept me from. I guess I didn't want to be seen as a liability. I didn't want to be seen as someone whose hand they had to hold. I didn't want to be seen as someone who they'd have to I just didn't want to be that. But at the same time, when you have issues that need to be taken care of, then you got to get them taken care of. So you were great in that conversation, and I received it because I definitely needed to hear it. When you
yeah.
need to hear something like that, you might not receive it in the best way initially, but I do believe that eventually you will be able to reflect and say, you know what that person had to say to me was exactly what I needed to hear at that moment. So
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, because I need to do okay. Hold back, Jennifer, because I didn't want to go down that road again. Because you need, but yeah, you have to have those tough conversations, and if we don't, we're not moving forward. It just blew my mind that a supervisor couldn't do that, a manager couldn't do that. How you even get here? What's
Yeah.
going on?
They
And now
were
you're taking the brunt of everything.
right. They were probably a lot like me. I would assume they were probably a lot like me. We're worried about people's perception of them. And of course, as well, some people really don't. Really, it's uncomfortable to have those conversations. When you're not comfortable, you're not in your best space, and no one likes to be uncomfortable. So I
Yeah,
completely
that's
understand.
true. Um, but I hope that everybody that's listening to this can hear me say this. It's the tough moments that help us to move forward.
Right.
It's the tough conversations that bring the clarity so that we can be in a space of education. We all understand and be on the same level of understanding versus, trying to wonder, so like, why can't you come to work on time? Or
Right.
having a conversation like, hey, friend, you're doing the most and you're doing a whole lot of partying. And I'm starting to wonder, what's going on? Are you okay? It's just having
Right.
those conversations. You got to talk. Um, Aaron says, hey, Yogi. And Tyrone says, people create Tyrone McCullum. He said, people create stories for others and believe the narrative they create to the level of fearing finding out the true story by having the conversation. And it's all within us. Like we stop ourselves from the clarity because we don't want to talk. We're so
Right.
scared to talk. Conversations bring clarity. Exactly, Tyrone. Erin says, I'm a Gemini. Oh, she's a
All
Gemini.
right. Come
And
on, air signs.
I'm a Gemini, and both of my personalities don't like confrontation. I'm a,
Yeah.
I'm a supervisor, and excuse me, I'm a supervisor, and they are so hard. Excuse
We,
me.
we
Yeah,
right
those
here, Aaron. We right here. We're on the same level, child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those conversations can be so tough, but I'm telling you, maybe I certainly need to do an episode on how to have the conversation because I didn't know I had this gift
Hmm.
until college and people pushed me to go have the conversation with somebody about something, and we had the conversation and I just kept everything real. My voice wasn't raised,
Hmm.
and we just told this young lady how we felt about her. It wasn't sassy. It was just telling the truth, and this is something that we didn't like. And what was hilarious is that I didn't even bring up the fact that a conversation had to be had. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, we talk about you tell it, Jennifer."
Well, I think they picked you because it's easier to take tough conversations from you because of the love that you put behind your words, and you never come off as someone who wants to hurt someone's feelings,
um,
and I think everyone knows that you're always coming from a good place, and that's why people will want you to have those conversations because you're the best for the job.
I appreciate that, and I receive it wholeheartedly. Tyron says, "Wow, Aaron. Um, what's another thing that I didn't like? I was thinking about it. Wait, did you have anything else before I would move forward?
I actually honestly didn't. I really only have really like one really pet peeve. Like
A lot of things don't pee you off, huh?
not really. Not a lot. No. It takes a lot to really piss me off, to be honest. I don't know if that's a Libra thing or it's just a me thing.
Uh, or so wait, would that be a Leo thing? Anyway, so
Mm, could
so
be.
one thing, Tyrone, tell me, is that a Leo thing? Anyway, 'cause he be knowing stuff.
Yeah.
Another thing that really bothers me is people that try to be something that they're not.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
bothers me to no end. Um, I'm not going to talk about that because it's
Like
a
when you understand that someone is new to this and they are not true to this, it's so glaring. Like you can just
that's the
see it. It's
point.
so
It's all over
obvious.
them.
It's like, what are you doing,
Oh.
sweetie? Like, what are you doing? What are you trying to prove here? Because it's not coming across as authentic, ma'am.
And this is why I preach so much. Find yourself.
Right.
because as soon as people start to see that you're acting like somebody that you're not,
Hmm.
it's like, mm, or it can work out, but not for long. That's the problem. It never totally works out for the long haul because number one, you won't be able to be somebody else for a long time. It's going to wear on you. It's going to get annoying, and it's going to have to stop. Unfortunately. Second of all, if you can keep up that facade for a long time, eventually people are going to be over that facade because they're going to see straight through you.
Right.
This is why when I coach people for like podcasts and stuff like that, I
Hmm.
always say, look, choose the side that you're going to show now.
Right.
Choose your boundaries now.
Now.
What you're okay with talking about, what you're not okay with talking about, and the personality that you want to show, because it is a choice. Either you can be totally transparent or you can be just flatline. I'm not totally giving my opinion or my experience. I'm just giving the news or giving the opinions of other people. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's your choice to do that. But if you decide that I am going to show a personality that's not necessarily my own,
Hmm.
that's a problem.
Right.
And people can see it. It's like, this is why a lot of people say, I even try to say that there's nobody that can do you like you do you.
Right. Right. As far as personalities are concerned, there is one personality that sticks out, that I believe he is so like, authentically him. I don't know
Hmm.
if you remember that Gentleman's TV show with Farnsworth Bentley back in the day. There was a young man on that show named Riff Raff. He was this white young man, and he was very eccentric.
Yes, he
He
was.
had colorful hair, he had colorful teeth, and he was just himself. And like it was so endearing to me, and I loved every minute of it. And it's not like he was trying to act black, and it's not like he wasn't really acting black
He was
per
really acting himself.
se. He was just being himself. And it's like when you see that authenticity, it's easier to gravitate towards that. But when you see someone who's just trying to be someone they're not, like for instance, Takashi 69 doesn't seem to be like a gangster to me,
He
but
doesn't strike me as authentic.
right, he does not come off as authentic to me whatsoever. He obviously bought his way into a gang, or however it is that he got into the blood gang, or whatever the case may be. But it's like he's obviously trying, and it worked for him. He's a millionaire. But, for those of us who operate in the real at all times, we can see that, that ain't you, player. Got tattoos all over his face. And it's like, you're doing things just to get noticed. For
Just to be
instance,
seen.
when Nicki Minaj first came out and she was wearing all those crazy outfits, that was not Nicki. That wasn't Nicki. But of course, Nicki was doing it because she wanted to get the attention of other people. And right now, she's not doing all those crazy outfits, the crazy hair. She's not doing all that now because she doesn't have to. So, when authenticity is seen, it's appreciated. But when the fakeness is seen, child, is next.
I certainly do agree with that. I agree with all of that. I think I don't know, it's like just, okay, I am a very spiritual person.
Right.
As soon as I walk in the room, I'm feeling things, you know, and when I see people operating in their authenticity,
Hmm. There you
I
go.
automatically gravitate towards them and I love it. I love people operating in who they are. And it doesn't take a spiritual person to see that you're not doing that.
Right. That's probably why you love the gays so much, besides the fact that I'm your brother. Because we have no choice
Shoot.
but to be who we are. Because I can't hide it. Like I'm not an actor. I cannot give you masculinity. I cannot give you butch like 100%. Like I cannot give you thug realness. I will not be in that category.
Or
Never, ever,
you would
ever.
have to keep your mouth closed and not move.
Okay, exactly. I can't do that. I can only be who I am. That's all I can be. It's me.
Yeah, and you're right. That's actually one of the reasons why I do have a lot of love for the LGBTQIA, especially for the ones that that found their way still to Christ through the muck that the church has
Mhm,
provided.
mhm,
And I love being able to see people that's free, whether you're in the community or not, no matter who you are, people that are free to be themselves. This is why I'm able to enjoy the company of people that say controversial things
mhm.
because they are who they are. My hairstylist, her name is Henny, and I love her from the Green Thumb. She has some really hot takes. She really
Mm.
does. From like gay stuff to trans stuff to
Oh.
literally everything.
Mhm.
We don't always have the same opinion, but we
That's
both understand that it is our upbringing, our exposure to different things. It's just our lives that brought us to where we think now.
right.
So she's she's never been apologetic about how she feels about things,
Mhm.
but she's willing to also learn as well. That is just such a unique thing, which is why I love her so much. She is okay with being herself, whether she has to fuss and cuss everybody out. I'm gonna have to send. I'm gonna send you her her TikTok. So
Please do.
so you,
She sounds like the original person that started my locks, Aisha. Aisha, she had
yes,
an opinion about everything, and she stuck by that thing. Like she would not let it go. But I appreciated that because,
there's nothing wrong
that
with that,
was who she was.
and that's what she stood
Um,
in.
right, there were certain things about the LGBTQ plus community that she did not understand that she would talk about extensively. And, I would educate her, when I could. But when you have those people, again, you don't have to you don't have to think like, are they being real with me or not? No, they're just
Mm-mm.
being who they are.
You're just being them, and that's why I love her. I respect her in that huge way because she has no problem being who she is, and she's very smart too. I love her. I'll send that to you.
Thank you.
Tyrone says Leos will make you reveal yourself to the world. Leos will point out your flaws and perfects wait and make you face your fears head on. Okay, I think maybe he said they point out your faults and imperfections and make you face your fears head first.
Mm.
Okay, I think, not I think, I know that is me. All right, but yeah, not operating in who you are is certainly super duper annoying to me. What else is annoying to me? The biggest thing, ignorance.
Oh yeah.
When ignorance, I'm gonna give a definition. This is not from the Webster. This is just Jennifer's definition. Okay, speaking about things that you know absolutely nothing about with your whole confidence,
With your chest. With
with
your
your
chest.
whole chest. That's what I mean with with your chest. Speaking on things that you don't know about with your whole chest. Being loud and wrong. That's like when people that are that's apparently have never been exposed to um okay, the LGBTQIA community. They don't know specific things about that area because it's certainly a whole culture in itself. I had
Mhm.
to learn because I ain't know about any of it because I was never like it. Come on now, I'm not gay. So
Right.
not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm just saying that's just the truth. And Jonathan, he made what opened my eyes. He got me watching the Scorpion show. Two gay men just talking about two gay men, just talking like regular people. Like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, they're cool. And what took it to the next level was him I remember we were in Myrtle Beach for mommy's birthday in a condo, and he made me watch, and they actually had a DVD player in there, and he made
Yeah.
me watch all 2 seasons of Noah's Ark as well as the movie. That's all I needed right there.
Mhm.
I was able to really experience a whole lot and see a lot of things from their perspective, the good and the bad,
Right.
and not necessarily how it works, but how it works for some people. Because I
Right.
do understand everybody has their own path, even with straight relationships. We all have our own path and ways that we want to do marriage and relationships and stuff like that. And I learned those things. And to hear people talk about different communities, shoot, to hear people talk about the Black community
Right.
as if they've been in it, it's like telling us how we're supposed to be feeling, telling us how, you shouldn't feel this way, or maybe y'all should calm down with this because of that. It's like, how are you supposed to say that?
You don't know what you're talking
You
about.
don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And that Black friend that you say you have, that I don't even believe that you have, they haven't told you a thing, honey.
Right. And a lot of times those Black friends are just Black on the surface. If you get what I'm what I, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, okay?
It is picked up. Okay, and that is so true. Because there are a lot of African Americans out here that have not truth with themselves as well.
Right.
Tyrone said, "Say it with your chest." Right. But that is so true. It's so
Yeah.
true. But I say all that to say, people speaking ignorantly. Like I stay on TikTok. I'll be on TikToks all the time. Okay, and as soon as you start to hear people talk so self-assured as if they know everything about everything,
Hmm.
automatic swipe. I can't do that. I can't
Right.
listen to that. And being around people like that, that
Ooh, that's
just
just the worst.
yeah, in their presence, or
Yes.
don't let it be nobody I know.
Right. Like I'm not going to be the type to, automatically correct you. I'll keep my mouth closed because again, I don't want confrontation at all. I understand because a lot of times when you get into a conversation with those type of people, they will want to make sure that their point is proven and they will not back down from that whatsoever. They're not willing to listen to what it is that you're saying
Which is why
because
they
they
have
need to
the ignorance.
prove that they are right. Exactly. And, like Jennifer said, ignorant and loud. That's what a lot of those people are.
And like to even add on top of it, just thinking about people with church brain, people that can't be separated from what they've learned in the church, though some things have been proven, though experiences have been shown that some things are negative, some things are positive, but a lot of those things have been negative, unfortunately, and has
Right.
been like, okay, like being taught that we shouldn't have money. We need to live poor and destitute, but keep on asking God for blessings. Stuff like, just the little things that we can't do, like even for my locks, that they're unholy and that they hold demons and things of that nature.
Child, well, if the demons up in here, they looking good, child. Okay.
Ew.
Yeah.
But I look at people with church brain. Some of those you just can't talk to them.
No,
Like,
I sure don't. Because we're just not going to see eye to eye. And if we're not going to see eye to eye, I'm not going to waste my time with a conversation with you. I'm so sorry. I'm just not going to waste, like, you get to a point to a certain age to where you understand how fragile life is
oh, come
and
on.
how you can be gone tomorrow. You don't want to waste time with people. You don't want to waste time with people. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it.
Once again, you got that right. I, I could never. No, no. Why? Um,
Especially when I understand no matter what I say, you're not going to see my side of it whatsoever because you refuse to do so.
and
I don't
just
have time for that.
and just to clarify that, it's not even about understanding or going with somebody else's side. It's just, can
Right.
you hear me and at least add that to the equation? That's
Right.
it.
Being willing to receive it. You have to be willing to receive it. You don't have to go along with it, but just
Oh no.
receive it And then once you receive it, you can then kind of calculate and, kind of figure it out for yourself. But at least receive it and not just block it
Yeah.
out, let it go in one ear and out the other.
Just take what's for you and just leave the rest out, but sometimes if we're not challenged, we're
Mm,
not going to get into a higher self. And I think I talked a little bit about this at Faithful Warrior Ministries, talking about, it's through the tough times where we truly are able to dig deep into God,
right.
where we're able to find Him even the more, and realizing that there are levels to this Christianity thing.
Mhm,
I call myself a churchgoer before I started really praying.
right.
And well, now I call myself a churchgoer because I thought, hey, I've been saved for all these years. There's no way that I'm not at the upper crust of Christianity and spirituality. But it wasn't until I connected with Christ, we really got to find out what those levels actually were. Regina says church brain, exactly. But yes, that's why nobody likes you. You're a liar. You, you, you don't, you are trying to be something that you're not. That's really annoying.
Right.
You can't have the conversation that needs to be had. You
Mhm.
have unspoken expectations and then have the nerve to get upset that we're not meeting the expectations that you've been formulating in your brain.
And have not conveyed to others so that they can meet those expectations.
That's why nobody like you. And also there, there is the ignorance. If you speak wholeheartedly about things that you have absolutely no knowledge about, no experience in,
Mhm.
you don't have the space to do it,
Right.
especially around those that have. That's why nobody like you.
Okay. I
You
like
see
how
them.
you wrap that up.
You see them eyes rolling.
Okay.
You see people walking away. You see people not picking up the phone no more.
So I was told I was rolling my eyes before I even knew what eye rolling was. Okay. Because I
You
really
were.
thought rolling my eyes was rolling my eyes like in a circle. But like, I didn't realize it was, rolling your eyes. So,
Oh, yeah. He was. It was a natural thing for Jonathan. And we always say, "Quit rolling your eyes. I'm not doing this."
yeah, because that's what I thought it was, rolling your eyes. Like I didn't get that.
Well,
And I don't know why y'all didn't tell me what I was doing, but it is what it is.
I don't know. I guess sometimes when you're thinking about the children, you don't remember what they don't understand.
Right, right.
I don't see what you're saying. Because I think I kind of thought you were playing. It's like, yeah, I did this, but I didn't do this, so that's not rolling your eyes. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Anywho,
yeah.
but yes, this is why nobody likes you. So, I don't, I love how Funky Dineva said, "I don't want to tear you down without extending the hand to help you." So
Right.
let me just say this. Number one, yes, we know you like to get in those conversations, those tough, hard conversations, and spread your opinion about things, but slow down. Think to yourself, have I ever experienced these things? Is this my experience?
Do I have the knowledge to
Do I
contribute
have
to
the
the
knowledge to talk
conversation?
about this?
Okay.
And if you hear no's, at least preference your conversation with, I don't have a whole lot of experience in this, but this is what I see.
Right. I am ignorant to the situation, y'all, but these are my thoughts.
These are my thoughts. Okay. You don't even have to say I'm ignorant. I said, I don't know much about it, but let me just tell you what I think about it. So there
Right.
can be a real conversation. So
Right.
people won't feel like they need to slap you. They would be able to say, let me help you.
Right. They
Um,
can understand where you're coming from. They can understand what your intentions are in this conversation.
absolutely. Um, Trying to be somebody that you're not. I just encourage you to fight to find you
Hmm.
and lay down in that, rest in that space of finding yourself and being true to yourself. I promise you, you will be exerting less energy
Right.
and you will be finding joy within yourself because you have found you, and you feed that instead of trying to be something that you're not. Quit lying. Just stop. Because you're digging holes. And the lie upon the lie, even though you've been telling some of the same lies all the time, those are some of the same lies we've never believed.
Right.
And we just ain't told you. And that's okay. And lastly, with not having the conversation, without being with not being open about the things that you feel or the things that need to be said, yes, it's easy to say go ahead and have the conversation, but I know it's much harder than it seems, because I'm just one of those ones that dive in.
Okay.
But here's your encouragement. Take your time and continue to let yourself know that what needs to be said is valid and is required. And
Right.
if I don't do it, we can't move forward in the way that I hope that we can.
Right. We can't move forward in a productive manner.
In a productive manner. Thank you, Jonathan.
Mhm.
So I encourage you. Do you hear this tone I have right now? Keep it right there. And say what needs to be said. Remember, don't use the word you. You is accusatory. And you see how you felt when I said this is why nobody likes you? You feel how that
It
kind
feels
of
personal.
it feel real personal.
It makes it personal.
So instead of saying you didn't do this, say I didn't receive this.
Hmm.
Or we haven't gotten to a space of common ground. Not saying that you ain't thinking about me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Try to keep it as general as possible, because I promise you the message can still be conveyed without being accusatory. When you feel yourself starting to do this, that's when anger will start to arise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's when people will start to feel offended when you feel your voice doing this.
Right.
So remember that. And I do need to do a show on how to have the tough conversation. That's just a little tidbit for you for the future. All right. So I think I gave all of my just in case you didn't knows. Tyrone says, I hear you. The light of the Leo. And now he's laughing. Praise God for you, Tyrone. And I was this close to calling him Jonathan. I'm trying to do better, but I'm not going to just, it just is what it is.
Yeah, you are doing better. I will have to say that you are doing better. You don't do it as often as you used to, because you were really bad at it at one time.
Well, when we were all living in the same house,
Yeah.
that certainly didn't help. Okay, all right. Let us go on and move on and just continue to remember down here, our views and opinions when we started talking about stars and stuff. Those are simply our opinions from what we see. Yeah. What am I going to say now? Yes, Jonathan. Oh, that's the wrong one. I really need to update that. Sorry, Jonathan.
It's okay. You can follow me on Instagram, JoJo_speaks3020. You can find me on Facebook. I am Jonathan Lee. You can email me, WilliamJonathanLee@gmail.com. I have to remind myself to keep checking that email because it's my second one. And also, I have a YouTube channel, JoJo Speaks. So log on to YouTube, type in JoJo Speaks into the search bar. My channel should pop right on up. I post videos every Thursday night at 9:30 with hot topics and social commentary. I have a review on I Want to Dance with Somebody coming up this week. So look out for that. Subscribe and share my channel with all your peeps. Again, JoJo Speaks on YouTube. Beat me there. Don't meet me there.
We tried, Mike.
Okay. Taking a little run from Mike.
Yes. All right. And for myself, as you can see, I am the light of the Leo. I actually searched myself today, Jonathan.
Okay.
And it works. If you put the @ sign, the light of the Leo, I pop right on up.
That's
I love it.
awesome.
So when you go to YouTube, go ahead and put the @ sign. Wait, hold on. There we go. Put the @ sign, the light of the Leo. You can put it all lowercase, it doesn't matter. And I will pop right up. Go ahead and subscribe. Like every single video that you watch, whether you like it or not. Uh, Also, the Juice Radio and Talk Show, that's another great channel that we are on often, weekly, sometimes more than that. And just go ahead. We have some really great conversations. It is spiritual based, church based. So you will like those conversations. We do keep it incredibly real, just as I do here. I do not hold back over there because Regina said so. So
Right.
I keep it as transparent as possible. I just continue to be myself. Jonathan does the same. Type in the Juice Radio and Talk Show on YouTube, and you'll see the red mug and the mic, and that's us. Also, of course, yeah, JoJo Speaks. Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. We be there. And lastly is Faithful Warrior Ministries. Prayer slash podcast every Saturday morning at 10-ish a.m. Go ahead and join us. We are really there every Saturday morning. Rain, shine, sleet, even if we have to record it, if worst comes to worst, we certainly are there for you every single Saturday. Last Saturday was really great.
It was on point.
Jonathan, you went in and slowly went off during your prayer. I was like, he's feeling it. It was a really great prayer, but we stay ourselves. We keep it real. We don't become somebody else just to pray. We just are us, and it's just us and King Jesus, and we just do us. That's what we do well. Some people don't know how to do it themselves. That sounds horrible. Does that sound horrible?
Not if your mind isn't in that gutter.
Okay, okay. Thank you. That's just me then. All right. Aaron says, yes, definitely do a video on tough conversation. I feel my team gives me pity when it's over.
Oh,
Yeah. We're gonna work on it, Aaron. Don't you worry.
yeah,
Don't you
yeah.
worry.
We will help.
And I understand. It's just the conversation, because when people
I
can
get
hear
it.
that you are
I really
nervous,
do.
if people can hear that you're really nervous about having the conversation, he can feel it. So
Yeah.
I understand. I understand,
Yeah.
sis. We're gonna talk about it. We'll make sure you know about it too. That's gonna be the next one. Shoot, that nabbit. Regina says, "Night, night, everyone. Great topic." Why, thank you, Regina.
All right, Regina. I'll see you tomorrow, girl.
All right. Well, it's been lovely.
Yes, it has.
I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. Continue to have the conversation. Continue to be yourself, and stop trying to be somebody else. Find you. You'll be happy. Good night, Aaron.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Erin.
And Tyra says, great show. Night, night. Thank you, Ty.
Night, night.
All right.
Or like Rhodey told Rome, night, night. Yeah.
Night, night. Bye, guys. We'll
Bye,
see you.
y'all.
I'm going to try to do a video in between time eventually. I'll let y'all know. Bye.
Bye, y'all.